We want to bring you a follow-up now to a story we've been covering here on Today. It's about a 70-year-old murder conviction that some people are hoping could soon be overturned. George Stinney Jr. was just 14 years old when he was executed in South Carolina. But now, all these years later, advocates for Stinney and relatives of one of the victims are still arguing over his fate. Mark Potter has more.
In the lumber mill town of Alcaloo, South Carolina, in the spring of 1944, the grisly murders of two little girls, 11-year-old Betty June Beneker and 7-year-old Mary Emma Timms, both white, shattered the community. Their bludgeoned bodies were in a ditch.
Their bodies were found in a low creek of water right behind me in that woodline area.
A few hours later, police took 14-year-old George Stinney Jr. into custody. Officers claim Stinney gave an oral confession, but there is no written record of that. Stinney's family members, who claim he was with them at the time of the murders, were run out of town.
He had absolutely no chance whatsoever.
Stinney's murder trial in this courthouse lasted only about 3 hours. The all-white jury took just 10 minutes to convict him. Stinney was then sentenced to die. No physical evidence was presented. The defense put on no case and filed no appeal. And Wilford Johnny Hunter, who says he was Stinney's cellmate after the conviction, claims Stinney said he never confessed.
He said, "Johnny, I didn't do it. I didn't do it." He said, "Why would they want to kill me for something I didn't do?"
But on June 16, 1944, the 95-pound Stinney, the inmate on the right, was executed in the electric chair.
He didn't get due process.
Now, 70 years later, a South Carolina law firm is trying to clear Stinney's name, claiming he was framed.
I don't believe George Stinney did it because of the evidence that we have uncovered.
It was a sad thing to happen.
But among relatives and friends of murder victim Betty June Beneker, there is strong opposition to clearing Stinney. Sadie Duke says the day before the murders, Stinney threatened her.
He said, "Well, if you don't get away from here and if you come back, I'm going to kill you."
Beneker's nieces say they are convinced of his guilt.
He committed the crime and he confessed to it.
He was sentenced and he was put to death according to the laws in 1944. And I think they need to leave it alone.
Stinney is buried in an unmarked grave in this cemetery. On Tuesday, a judge will be asked to revisit that past and decide if the guilty verdict still stands. For Today, Mark Potter, NBC News, Alcaloo, South Carolina.